Hello folks and welcome to another one of my Periscope videos out with the accounting great and good. I'm absolutely delighted to be joined by Jennifer Warawa. Jennifer is Sage's Global VP of Product Marketing. For those of you that are going to watch on Periscope, please feel free to throw some questions to us and try and catch Jennifer out during our interview. For those of you that are watching on YouTube, if I'm kind of staring inanely at the camera rather than listening intently to Jennifer, it's because I'm obviously keeping an eye on the questions as well for the Periscope audience. And why not watch us on Periscope rather than YouTube and take part in the show? Jennifer, welcome.
Thank you so much for having time for me today. I appreciate it.
No problem. Right. So we've had the keynote announcements this morning. What are the kind of key product takeouts for the Sage customer base?
Yeah, so we announced today Sage 1 integration with Peg, which is our accounting chat bot, which is really exciting. So you can basically text or use voice to get transactions right into Peg, which flow into Sage 1, which is great. We talked about Sage 50C and our integration with Sage 50 and Microsoft Office 365. We announced the Sage Accountant Cloud, which is basically an open platform practice management solution for accountants that connects everything together in one place and brings all the GLs together for their clients. We talked about X3 version 11, which launches a lot of new functionality around project management, around production scheduling. I mean, it's a great release. So lots of new announcements today.
So yeah, that sounds all very complicated. For our sole practitioners, the small accountants that are out there on the high street, what do they need to take away from this? What is this all about?
Yeah, so I'd say there's two things really. One is around the Accountant Cloud, which is a great way to bring all data together and get one single client list view in one application, regardless of whether it's a Sage product or a product from another vendor. And so it makes it really easy to keep track of all your clients. So that's one thing. And the other thing that I'd take away probably is around automation. It's not a surprise to anyone that the world is becoming more automated. And as a result, this doesn't mean that accountants or bookkeepers' jobs are going away. It means that there's an opportunity to free them up to go and do new and better things. So learn about automation because your clients are going to be looking for it anyway. So lead the way with your clients, explain to them what it means, and then figure out how you're going to use that to do more things in your practice.
So there's been a hell of a lot of regulatory change in the UK in particular in recent years. We've got Making Tax Digital around the corner. We've just had the FRS 102, the big accounting changes here. We do hear from small practitioners that are concerned about the burden that they face. However, a lot of their business models have been around just providing compliance services. So it is kind of, it's a big change for them. How is Sage trying to help them?
Yeah, I think there's two ways that we're helping, and I have a session later today I'm going to be talking about this in. But I think one is around the technology piece. So how do we give accountants the technology that they can use in their practice that helps them take advantage of all of these new like AI and machine learning and everything so they can better support their clients? And the other piece is around education. So you're right, they've made a whole business out of tax and compliance, and now that those are being automated, Making Tax Digital is a perfect example of that. They're saying, well, what is my job going to be now? And it's actually really interesting because a doctor never says, I think my job's going to go away because of all this new technology. That doesn't even cross their mind. They say, how am I going to use all this new technology to better advise my patients? And so accountants have the same opportunity. How am I going to use all this new technology to better advise my clients? And so we're providing education to help them figure out how do I make that step change in my practice so I can start better advising my clients instead of focusing on tax and compliance solely. It's obviously still important, tax and compliance, always going to be important, but it is being automated.
Are you getting any pushback from the practitioners? Are you struggling with any of them to get the message across? I mean, that's something that I hear when I'm out and about. Lots of them don't want to make this step change.
Yeah, I get a lot of, whether I'm speaking at a conference or talking one-on-one or visiting an accounting practice, I get a lot of them saying, so how many days until I retire? And do I really need to change, or can I make it through to retirement without changing my practice? And so I say, if you're going to retire in the next 6 months, you're probably okay. You can keep things the way they are. But if you're going to be around for a few years or into the future, you really do need to change. So we are seeing resistance. But the challenge is, I always tell the story, we do lots of focus groups with different sizes of businesses. And what's interesting is when you get business owners in a room and you'll talk about their role, their relationship with their accountant, lots of them will tell the story. Oh, I meet them at tax time. They give me these financial statements. I have no idea what they mean, and then we part ways. And I'm like, thank God that's over. And so there's always someone in the room that says, I have this great relationship with my accountant. They advise me all the time. I call them, every couple of days. They're on the cloud, checking out my accounting records all the time. We have this brilliant relationship. Every other person in the room, 100% of the time, says, can I get the name of your accountant? And so I tell accountants, who do you want to be? Do you want to be the accountant that's getting referred, or do you want your client to be the one in the room asking for the business card and trying to find someone else? So I guess my message is, even though there's hesitancy and change, it's inevitable. It's here. The future is now, as we talked about today, and they need to embrace it, and we're here to help them do that.
Well, thank you very much for that. So we've had a note through there. Accountants should think of themselves as doctors and think about the health of their clients. I think that's a nice way of summarising. We'll be discussing with Kritty later on AI and bots and what they mean for accountants. I'm intrigued to speak to her about that. Jennifer, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
And thank you for watching, guys. I'll upload this onto YouTube, and thank you for watching. See you soon.